Hey now everyone, it's Steve Severs for Bionic Buzz. We're at the 2025 San Diego Comic Con. Now before we get started, please help us out by hitting that subscribe button. Now let's go see who we can talk to.
Saladin Patterson, showrunner.
Pamela Adlon, actress.
Kathy Najimy, superstar.
So what's it like working on a show all these years later?
I mean, it's been great. I think Greg said it best. I'm just kind of repeating what he said when me, him, and Mike were kind of writing what was considered the pilot of this new version. It was like revisiting, friends we hadn't seen in years, and like, oh wow, that's how Peggy sounds, that's how Bobby sounds, and it's exciting. I was doing this much as a fan as I was, as a showrunner, so it's been great.
And we love him. We're so glad he came.
Yeah, it was great when Saladin came to our show because he really is like a true blue OG fan. So he had different intentions. Like it wasn't just like, oh, let's be gross and do a reboot and like a revival like everybody else. Like he was able to just kind of reinvigorate all of us and keep it OG, but also make it fresh.
When the original show ended, it was kind of like messed up schedule, and I was always curious if there was more that you were intending for your characters to kind of explore. Are there any things that you wish you did in the original series that you're able to do with this new version?
We just show up.
We read the lines.
We're just grateful.
Yeah, I mean, I think I was relieved that the morph into who they are now was really honored who we were then for all those years.
Yeah.
And, it wasn't like crazy things and we were murderers or we were new models or anything. We were sort of the same family, just with a little more gas.
How excited are you guys to be able to, especially Bobby Hill, like we're taking him now he's older, and I mean it seems to be that a lot of the fan base is very, very excited and curious as to what that's going to look like, especially with the relationship with Hank.
You mean for Bobby or for Peggy?
For Bobby.
Oh, for Bobby. Oh, that's you.
So, can you say your question again?
Yeah, no problem. How excited are you, to be able to take this character that now has a really big focal point because of the growth and the place in life he's going to be?
Well, for me, it's like I was always I love this character. This is my favorite part I've ever played, and I always knew that when the show was going in its infancy. Even I was like, this is the best part I've ever had, and so to be able to like kind of just the sweetness of Bobby and also his just outside the boxness and his fears and insecurities and people deciding things about Bobby and telling me, and I'm like, that's not true about Bobby at all. But everybody has their own thing that they take from him, and so it's really just kind of you get all this like good stuff of Bobby that is a memory because he still is very much who he was, but now he's just kind of a proper amalgamation of both his parents, which is like really apparent to me, and still the way he always was. Like you are who you are.
Yeah.
What do you think one of the most misunderstood things about Peggy is? Because she's a character that like with Bobby, everyone has their own idea about like who she is and what she would do in a situation, and I'm sure that you've heard a lot of whoppers, in your decades.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've not heard anything bad about Peggy. Like, I think people fall in love with her because whether they're on this side of reason or this side of reason, she's always right here.
Yeah.
So I've never felt like I had to change or augment her or take her down or up because it's working the way she has entered my body. It's really a crazy thing to say, but a lot of times when you do a character for a really long time, you don't become the decision maker anymore. That, you know what I mean?
Right,
Like
mhm.
she comes out of me the way she
Yeah.
wants to come out of me.
Mhm.
You know, depending on what's happening in her community and her family and all that.
Mhm.
So I didn't have to do a lot of work changing her. I know she was older and
Mhm.
her kid was older, but she's still Peggy. Really, really brave, really, really wrong.
One of my favorite episodes was the beer episode. So, do you personally like your beer to have story or fruity or?
I think I agree with Hank. A beer shouldn't have a story.
That's so funny.
What are the I'm sorry, as a new showrunner, what were the kind of like the ideas that you brought to the show to kind of characterize this new version?
You know, I mean, new showrunner for sure, but like Pam said, old fan of the show, right? So a lot of it was me leaning on Mike and Greg in the beginning. You say, okay, help me learn what the rules of the universe were in terms of when you guys broke stories and things like that. So I can stay true to that core, that grounded nature, you know, because I wanted the original fans to feel that nostalgia. And then in terms of me personally, it was a lot of me pulling in from my personal experiences with the writing staff, you know, but as long as it aligned with who the characters were, you know. But like, for instance, there's a joke in the trailer of Hank has a new grill, right? And he talks about all the high tech components of the grill, and then you see he's taking them all out, you know. That's from my personal experience in terms of, you know, just having that point of view. And people, you know, I've been a 52-year-old man since I was a 32-year-old man, so I can relate to a lot of what Hank's going through, and then with other writers who just share from their personal experiences. And me, Mike, and Greg all have children the same age as Bobby is now in this revival, so a lot of it is also pulling from our experiences from their points of view.
Awesome. Well, thank you all. Keep up the amazing work, and we'll see you on the
Thank you
episodes
guys
August
so
4th
much.
on
August
Hulu.
4th.
Yay.
Wait, remind me, what did Bobby, what was his thing about beer? Like Hank, Hank hates
Has
a
to have a
story.
story.
Has to be beer as a story, you know.
It has to
For
be
Hank.
fruity.
For Bobby's beer, you know, his stories, you know, where the fruitiness comes from, where all the hops and ingredients come from, the umami. You know,
The
that it has to have,
umami.
Yeah, and then Peggy
And Hank-
wanted it. What did she want it to be called?
Peggy's Ale or
Peggy's
something.
Ale.
And Hank's like, my beer has hops.
Amazing.
Thank you guys.
Thank
so very
you
much.
guys.
Yes, I'm Lauren Tom. I play Min and Connie.
I'm Mike Judge. I play Hank and Boomhauer.
Toby Huss. I play Joe Jack and this guy Dale.
Cotton too.
Oh, and Cotton too as well. Yeah, yeah. He comes. Cotton comes back for a second.
The world has become.
Oh shit! Sorry.
The world has become much more. Hard to believe since the original run, but much more politicized. You know, much more divisive since the original show has ended. How is Hank reacted to this new world?
I would just get the same answer. So to me, like, I think for people working in media, you know, and people who are like myself, who are probably on Twitter too much or something, I don't know, it's easy to think that, I mean, all those algorithms and everything just like boosting we're obviously very divided, but I think, like, I don't know, for me, when you get out into the real world away from that for long enough, it doesn't feel quite as bad. And I think, you know, I don't know, I was just talking about, like, I think it was like way back in 2001, around then. I was doing a phone interview with a BBC guy, and he's saying, like, what's it like for you now? What's it like to be as a person living in Texas? And I didn't know what he was talking about. He said, you know, because George W. Bush was president. And I don't think about it that much, really. It's not. I don't think people sit around and go, I am a Texan, and he's a president, and everything's horrible. I think, you know, when you, what's the term, get feet on the grass, like, get outside, and, you know, things are a little more normal than maybe we think they are, and I think that's kind of where this show lives. So, you know, to me, it's sort of an escape from all that, hopefully. You know, like, that's, our pilot ends with Hank just kind of finding comfort in the Home Depot, or our version of it, with, you know, with the tools, and just people talking about tools, and then everyone gets along, you know. So I don't know. my half answer.
A question for the all these performers, longtime fans of all of you.
Thank you.
And returning to these characters after over a decade, as seasoned voice actors, what was that like to perform characters like Min, Joe Jack, but like over a decade older? Did that present a new challenge to you as veteran voice actors?
Absolutely no challenge with Joe Jack. He's exactly the same. He was probably had that voice when he was 10. And then he'll have it when he's 104. He's the same dude. He's just talking low and slow. That's how he goes through the world. When he was 10,
yeah,
that little
yeah,
Joe
he would
Jack
be one of those guys who's middle-aged at 10.
How you doing there, Mr. Judge? Oh, shit, he's 10. Yeah. And then, I didn't do Dale before, so this was a really unique opportunity to jump into a character that I'd watched Johnny form over all those years. Because he didn't start out as an actor. Johnny was a stand-up and just a writer and a goofball.
Yeah.
And to watch him there acting, I'd sometimes watch him and go, what the fuck is this guy doing? I know what he's doing. And sometimes he'd act with a cigarette. He wasn't smoking it. A cigarette in his hand. They'd do that. They'd do it fast. They'd scream and do his thing. I go, this guy's milking. And then you'd watch a little bit longer and go, no, there's a method. He's doing a thing. And he was really diving deep into this character that he created. It's great. So it was great to watch it all those years. So I think I had some inside baseball knowledge and how he put it together. So I was able to try to hold on to that and do it going forward.
And for me, doing Min, I'm basing her on my grandma, so she's part of my cell memory. So I have that voice in me, and so Toby was pointing out that I used to always say that Min is so passive aggressive in that fun way, but now she's just aggressive because as you get older, you tend to drop some of the niceties, and you're just like more like out there with it. And then I think Connie was a bit, my voice, because I feel like I was so close to who she was when I was 12, that now that she's older, it's sort of very close to my own voice now. So it didn't feel like anything I had to do regarding voiceover chops.
Right.
Yeah, it was more just an acting job rather than anything that had manipulated.
Gotcha. Oh, what about Hank?
Yeah, Hank was already like, I was just thinking about this when I first pitched the show. I had Hank just written down that he's 49, and then the network, they were like, that's a little old, our demographic is 34 or whatever, and it kind of irked me a little bit. But then I was like, wait, no, I'll just come back with the same exact drawing.
Exactly. Hey, he's
Okay,
34.
that's better.
How
We
about
just didn't mention his age. Then we made him 40 or something, I think. And then I remember at some point, like, oh, I'm older than Hank now. And I was still doing the same voice, whatever age he was. And then now I think he's probably going to be, I guess I'm older than him now too, right? Just since we started writing the reboot. But yeah, I think he's the same guy. I mean, I actually think he could be one of those, like there was a guy at my high school senior year who already looked middle-aged, and they literally used to get him to buy beer. Like, he could just dress up like an old guy and get away with it. Hank's probably in that kind of way.
What were some of the elements that you guys were excited about to be able to change?
Well, Bobby being older for sure, and Connie, and them reconnecting, there's also just a whole new world of things for Hank to be annoyed by. I mean, I just, especially if he's been gone for a long time and comes back, I mean, one of the first things that came to mind for me when we were talking about this was just how in my neighborhood, it's like, oh, there's a bike lane, now there's a scooter lane, and now the parking is over here, so you got to cross the bike lane when you put it, and there's no left turns allowed anywhere. It's like, come on. And yeah, just, I mean, a lot of the newer stuff, like we always thought of Arlen as being kind of close to a bigger city, and we moved it around all over depending on the episode. It's like, oh, we need it to be 2 hours from the beach. But I think the big city stuff is creeping into all the smaller towns, so a lot of that stuff is fun to play with.
guys like a story or fruity?
What's that?
Do you like to have your beer have a story?
Oh.
Oh,
Oh yeah, that's the one we're playing tonight.
is it?
Like
Okay.
personally, guy, I thought that was a really great episode.
Oh, good.
I don't like any fruit in my beer. No,
Yeah.
I don't even put lemon lime in the Corona or anything. So
I walked up the street today to get a coffee. Well, I'm not going to get a Starbucks. I walked up and got one. Too fruity.
You didn't
I
like it.
dumped it
after
out in
that.
the shop and I came back and I got one here. And it was
You liked
equally
it?
as fruity. And 2 fruity cups of coffee. I'm drained the whole day.
yeah, I don't. Yeah, I think that's a step backwards. I don't like it.
Yeah.